Hello, I'm Jeremy. So yeah, I got asked by Nick to post about the books that I got when I went on our shopping trip that we had, I don't know, a while back, a couple weeks ago. Went to Wichita, went did some shopping, bought a bunch of used books and stuff. So Nick asked me to go ahead and post a haul video, which I meant to kind of post at the end of the video, and then I kind of forgot, and so I edited. I just didn't add it. So I'm going to go ahead and go through them all. This may not be your thing. All the books that I bought were all young adult, vintage young adult books from like the 90s. And they're horror books usually. I think most of mine are horror, I think. But if you wanted to watch that video of me going shopping, you can go ahead and I'll link it up above so that way you can check that out. We'll go ahead and start with Bookaholic. That was the first one that we went to. They didn't have a lot. The store's really cool, but they're a little pricier because they're just a used bookstore. So they kind of go off of what market prices are. But yeah, so they kind of do more market value. So anyway, so starting off, let's start off with, a lot of mine were going to be like Christopher Pike books, R.L. Stine, Point Horror, if you ever read any Point Horror books. So my first one I got was actually a Point Horror Unleashed. It's Scissor Man. I think it was $2 for this one. So there's that. I got an R.L. Stine, which is The Boy Next Door. So still pretty nice condition. And it's funny because I was never really into R.L. Stine when I was younger. My sister was. I was more into Christopher Pike. So, but now as an adult, I like going back and reading some of those older books. I like that retro kind of vibe to it. So the next one I got was a Fear Street Super Chiller, Broken Hearts. Again, still not too bad a condition. This one here I got was a Point Fiction book. I should have read the description. I didn't. I just thought Point Fiction, okay, that's... And I must have just been grabbing and going. So I don't know. I picked this one that says, I love you, I hate you, get lost. I guess I assumed it was more like thriller horror books. They're not. They're more kind of funny stories. And there are a bunch of like short stories that are in here. So that was all from Bookaholic. When we got to half-price books, I went a little crazy and I spent a lot of money. But I like half-price books because they're not using market value to do their books. They're just taking the price of the book on the back and splitting it in half. So sometimes you can get some really good deals. Sometimes you can't. When I first got there, I went straight to the back and checked out their clearance because a lot of times I'll get some good books on clearance, which is where I got both of these R.L. Stine Goosebumps books. Goosebumps are not usually books that I collect. I do have a few of them, but they were $1, so got both those. I got You Can't Scare Me, which looks like it has some kind of, looks like it has some kind of mud monster on it or something. I don't know. And then The Girl Who Cried Monster was my other one. So let's jump into more R.L. Stine. I did get a lot of R.L. Stine, so I got Twisted. And The Snowman. It's funny how like back in the day, like a lot of them were the this, the that. Not sure how creepy that would be, but might be good to read around like Christmas time or something. And got Beach Party, which is supposed to be really good. So I have not checked that. I have not read it yet, but it's supposed to be pretty good. And then The Babysitter, which is actually, if I remember correctly, I believe this is the first book of the Point Horror series. So this one here I've never heard before, and it looked like a really interesting book, but it's called Curtains. It was a little different than other R.L. Stine books because it's not, well, for one thing, it's not part of the Fear Street series, and it is also not part of the Point Horror series. So the next ones are actually Christopher Pike books, and I only got a couple because I didn't have a bunch of his, and I have several of his already. So if you guys remember back, I think it was 2 years ago, I did a whole vlog where I read 7 books in 7 days, and they were all Christopher Pike books. So I have Remember Me, so I got the Remember Me 2, The Return, and I did not realize that the cover was ripped. So yeah, that was a little disappointing. And this other one, I actually have another one of these books. It's the Final Friend series. I'm reading the second one. Book 1, The Party. Book 2 is The Dance. And then book 3 is The Graduation. So I do have all 3 of these ones, but like I said, I'm reading the second one. Then we get into I think these are all just point horror from this point on. Get it? And I try to group them if I had some of the same author, then I would keep them together. So the first one I got was called The Invitation by Diane Ho. Then I got Mother's Helper by A. Bates. Sister Dearest by D.E. Atkins. The Window by Carol Ellis. The Stepdaughter by Carol Ellis. This one here kind of reminds me, I don't know if it's going to be that way or not, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Twin Peaks, like with the little photo. Like, I don't know, the picture just kind of reminds me of Twin Peaks, which I love Twin Peaks. So the next one is Amnesia by Sinclair Smith. And then The Boy Next Door by Sinclair Smith again. And the last one was a point fiction story. It's not a point horror, but I just remember, okay, for one thing, I'll just go ahead and show you the book. I got Arachnophobia, which is so funny that I bought this book because I don't like spiders. I don't like arachnids. I don't like scorpions. I don't like that kind of stuff. I remember watching this movie when I was a kid, or younger, I don't know, I guess I was a kid. And it was creepy. I did not like it just because it had spiders in it. But I just didn't realize it was a book before that. So when I saw it, I think it was like 99 cents. And I was just like, you know what? Let's give it a go. So that was my whole entire book haul. Like I said, I had spent like $40 at Half Price Books and like $10 at Bookaholic. So I highly recommend Half Price Books if you have one near you. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be you. Bye.